Seedling raising of chlorophytum comosum. Chlorophytum comosum is not only an excellent hanging foliage plant in the room, but also a good indoor air purification flower, known as grain purifier. Therefore, there is a great demand for chlorophytum comosum in the market. So, how are so many chlorophytum comosum cultivated? Let's follow me to learn about one of the seedling raising methods of chlorophytum comosum.
Division, propagation.
At this point, students may ask, what is split seedling cultivation? Split seedling cultivation is a method of separating the descendant slip,
Stool, shoot, offset. Stolon,
of flowers from the mother plant, and planting them as independent new plants. Before learning the method of chlorophytum comosum seedling cultivation, let's first have a brief understanding of chlorophytum comosum. 1. Morphological characteristics of chlorophytum comosum. Chlorophytum comosum, also known as stringing stonecrop, inch plant, spider plant, lilac chlorophytum genus, is native to South Africa and is cultivated all over China. Chlorophytum comosum is a perennial evergreen herb with short rhizome, slightly plump root, sword-shaped leaf, 10 to 30 centimeters long, 1 to 2 centimeters wide, and slightly narrow toward both ends. Chlorophytum comosum is a perennial herb with basal leaves, strip-to-strip lanceolate, long and narrow, flexible like orchid. The biggest feature of chlorophytum comosum is that mature plants will
send out runners
from time to time, with a length of 30 to 60 centimeters, and small plants will grow at the tip. The flower pavilion is longer than the leaves, sometimes up to 50 centimeters long, often with creepy branches, but with leaf clusters or young plants near the top. After the above explanation, students should have a general understanding of chlorophytum comosum. And now, let's learn the methods and steps of chlorophytum comosum seedling cultivation. There are two ways to raise seedlings of chlorophytum comosum dioviti. 1. Old roots split into branches. Take chlorophytum comosum plants out of the pot. Remove the old soil and decayed roots. Cut the old roots. Leave 3 stems on the separated plants, and then transplant and cultivate them separately. Clusters of stem and leaf branches on creeping stems. Cut out the cluster stems and leaves on the stolon of chlorophytum comosum dividi. In fact, a new plant larva with
plantlet
on the top and air roots on the bottom is born, and directly planted in a flower pot for cultivation. This method is simple and produces seedling quickly, so it is commonly used. So, how should the operation be carried out specifically? Firstly, let's take a look at the methods of dividing old roots. There are 3 methods of dividing old roots. 1. Wash away the soil with water. Let it dry in a cool place until the fleshy roots become soft, and then cut open the gaps slightly wider in a leaf clusters with the sharp scissors. 2. Knock the soil loose, take out the chlorophytum comosum, and shake off the soil on the root. Take a closer look if it's actually a few trees squeezed together. They can be separated with a slight break. If it's a large one, cut it open with a knife. 3. Invert the pot. Gently tap it. Pour out all the soil and seedlings. Gently break up the soil blocks and divide them into several clusters. After the division is completed, when potting, do not bury the soil too deeply and determine the number of clusters of each pot as needed.
Transplant recovery under shade first.
And after the growth is restored, move to a semi-shaded area for cultivation. 2. Steps for cluster stem and leaf splitting. 1. Cultivate the mother plant of chlorophytum comosum to grow branches. 2. Gently pinch down the small chlorophytum comosum trees on the stolon, either by hand or with scissors. Note that keeping some of the roots that grow on top is easier for survival. Cut them directly from the stem without letting the leaves fall off. You can also leave a small section of stem after cutting. 3. Prepare a flower pot that is not too large, as it may accumulate too much water, making it difficult to maintain and move. A diameter of about 15 centimeters is sufficient, and it is not recommended to use a wooden flower pot. Although wooden flower pots are beautiful, they are prone to spoilage, decay, and mold if watered for a long time. The flower pot should have holes. 4. Chlorophytum comosum is easy to grow and has a general requirement for soil. Of course, the more fertile the soil, the better. The decaying leaf soil has sufficient nutrition. 5. Insert the buds of the cut small tree into the soil without burying them too deeply, ensuring that the leaves are on the soil surface. After planting, there is no need to fertilize immediately, and do not place them in direct sunlight outdoors. The temperature of planting and reproduction should be around 20 degrees Celsius, suitable for both spring and autumn. 6. The little chlorophytum comosum that was buried in the soil for 3 days began to take root. This lesson mainly takes chlorophytum comosum as an example to introduce the method of branching seedling cultivation. There are 2 main methods of chlorophytum comosum to grow. Seedlings by isolation, namely isolation of old roots and isolation of clustered stems and leaves on stolons. The methods are simple. At the end of the course, let's enjoy different varieties of chlorophytum comosum. Common horticultural varieties of chlorophytum comosum are chlorophytum comosum infantine, white leaf margin, chlorophytum capans comosum with yellow-white longitudinal lines in the center of the leaf, chlorophytum comosum in silver edge, round white leaves, chlorophytum comosum with medium spots, narrow and long leaves, lanceolate milky white, green stripes and edges. Milky white chlorophytum comosum with white longitudinal lines in the main veins of the leaves. That's all for this class. Goodbye, classmates.